Hi, this is Jason Moore. I'm wondering if anything is available on Friday, March 8th.
Crystal,
Hi, Philippa.
hello there. We were all worrying about you. I'm glad you're there. Hi, Denise. And John should be here somewhere. Hi, John.
Oh,
Can you hear me, Denise?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hi, John.
Hi there. How did I get connected twice?
Oh, you're just an amazing person, John. We can't get enough of you.
Oh, well.
Well, you're there anyhow.
Yeah, well,
Okay, great.
I don't quite dare hit leave on one of them. It's both of them. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know why there's two images or two instances. Any rate, here we are.
Okay, great. Let's get started. I declare the meeting open. I understand that Sarah has an emergency eye appointment, so will not be able to join us. So we are it. Okay.
Yep.
We don't have any public comment as far as I know. And Denise, you mentioned we should welcome guests. I don't see any guests. Am I missing somebody?
Nope.
Okay,
No
great.
guests.
So no guests to welcome. Thank you for sending out the agenda. And we didn't have a meeting last month, so we don't have any minutes to approve. We have not met for 2 months.
Well, I don't know if we should perhaps approve the November 21st minutes, which were our last meeting.
Sure.
Which was our last meeting.
Would anybody like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, they are approved. Fantastic. I didn't see a treasurer's account statement on the agenda, but we should have that. John, do we have any money?
Not much. Just a few minutes ago, I sent an email to everybody
Oh, I
with
didn't
the
get it.
updated financial report, and it asked Diane Converse to send me the accounts so I could make sure I had the latest and greatest, which she has done. And I called her and compared notes. So the current balance in the regular account is $222.25. The Friends account has a little over $8,500 in it. And we actually paid some bills out of the Friends account this year. We paid one of the Bartlett tree bills, and we paid for renewing our last Green Valley membership out of that account.
We had mentioned at one of our last meetings that would be okay to do, that it was all in support of the trees, and that was the intention of that Friends Fund.
Yep.
Great. I just got a note from Crystal saying that this meeting had not been on her agenda, which is why she was not starting it up. She was just merrily going on with her work. So I'm not sure why it wasn't on her agenda, because I saw that you sent into the town hall a list of all of our meetings, right, Denise?
I did, as well as I sent the agenda to, I think, Crystal, Judy, and
Christine, maybe?
Crystal, Judy, and Christine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. She just sent me another email saying that she needs a list of the meetings. So I will let her know. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll let her know that you sent her a list, and she should find that email and put it into her calendar. Thank you for doing that, Denise. You have been a very efficient secretary.
Well, I mean, and I know one of the things on our agenda is to talk about meeting dates, given Sandra's interest. So
why don't we bring that forward right now and talk about it? But unfortunately, Sarah is on. It's really her limiting factor, isn't it? John, what we have 2 potential candidates to come onto the committee who have expressed an interest.
Oh, great.
They cannot come on a Tuesday. The husband is not at home on a Tuesday. He works at the office, but he is working from home on a Wednesday. So could come onto a Zoom meeting on a Wednesday. Do you have any reason why you couldn't do a Wednesday rather than a Tuesday?
I don't have any standing meetings on Wednesdays.
Wednesday.
There is, every other month, I have a board meeting, usually in New Haven, on the 3rd Wednesday. But I can
Okay.
look at the couple of months, cycles this year when it doesn't happen on a Wednesday. So I can look at that, but there might be times when I couldn't. I'm usually done by, it's a 10 to 12 meeting, but since it's in New Haven, it takes a while to
Right.
get
But
back home again.
if we had it on the 2nd Wednesday, would that be a problem?
No, it wouldn't, as long as it's not the 3rd Wednesday.
Okay.
But as I say, that meeting bounces around a little bit this year, so I'll look. And I
Okay.
should be able to make a 3 o'clock time anyway.
Okay. That would be great. We as far as I'm concerned, that will work for me. Being old and retired and very retired, it doesn't
Well, I
interfere with my
sometimes think
pickleball game.
I'm busier now than I was when I was working, but that's neither here nor there.
Denise, how about you?
Yes, the
Because I know
second,
Wednesdays is your day to work at a Teague, right, or at the kitchen.
our daily bread, but
Daily bread.
I'm usually done by noon, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, so 3 o'clock on the second Wednesday should be fine.
Okay, I will get that out to Sarah and see what she says about it. The 2 potential people is a lady named Kate and her husband, and he apparently is a landscape planner and has planned some parks, right, Denise? Correct me if I'm wrong here. But he is experienced with landscaping, and so would be a terrific addition to the committee. And Kate is just a lovely lady who is very enthusiastic and would also be a great addition. So if we can switch our meeting to accommodate them, I would be happy to do that. Anything to add, Denise? You know them.
No, I'll add this is that Sandra mentioned that she loves weeding, which just made my heart sing.
Your camera is off, Denise. You
I
realize that?
just noticed that. Thank you.
Oh, there you are. Good. Yeah,
Philip,
she
will
also,
we check with Sarah to see if that works for her?
yeah, I will check with her, Denise. As I say, she sent an email saying she's got this emergency eye appointment.
Okay,
So I will send
Yes.
her an email and wait to hear from her.
okay.
Okay.
And then I'm happy if we are able to settle on it and it works for John too. I'm happy to send a list of the dates for the year to Crystal and the powers that be in town hall.
Terrific. Thank you very
Okay.
much. I appreciate that. That's great. I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I think it was there were list of work chores and then work.
Sorry, let me back up. There's if we do it the 2nd week, that should be okay. There's a week in July, I'm gonna be out of town. And I don't know which week it is. We're going to, yeah, the 3rd week in July, I'll be away. So I might not be able to attend a meeting then because it's circus camp in Knoxville.
Hey, and what are you going to go and practice?
It's our granddaughter goes to circus camp. So Charlotte and I took that opportunity to go to Knoxville, and I do chauffeur duty for her, so her parents can do whatever.
I thought maybe you'd be part of the circus camp.
Oh,
You'd go in
no.
as a
Mhm.
clown or a tumbler or a magician, no?
No. But actually, by 3 o'clock, I might be able to do it.
But if we had it for
We
the
usually do
2nd
something.
week, you'd be okay?
Yeah, second week I'd be fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting us know that, John. That's great. Yeah, you've done that before, haven't you?
Yes, we've done it now several years in a row. I forget how many. But yeah, it's an interesting trip. It's a fun trip.
Yeah, I bet. That is neat.
We usually fly
Okay,
into Charlotte and then drive over to Knoxville. It's about a 4-hour drive through the mountains, so it's a real pretty ride.
nice. How long is it to drive from the house to the camp?
Oh, 30 minutes or less.
Oh, okay.
It's
So that's
it's in a warehouse type building um in an industrial area of Knoxville. So it's just getting from one part of Knoxville to another part of Knoxville. So 20,
okay.
30 minutes.
Mm, that's fun. I
Yeah.
bet she has a great time.
Oh, she does. She's very athletic.
Does she have a specialty? Is she into trampoline or
No,
trapeze?
they don't do, I don't think they don't do much trampoline, but she's done the fabrics and she's climbed up ladders and swung on a trapeze and got up on a ball that's, 3 feet in diameter and made the ball go in circles while she was circling, rotating hoops on each hand. So she's
Wow.
quite talented.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yep.
Multi-talented.
Yep.
Okay. I've been down to the Arboretum a couple of times now. Oh, one thing I did want to say is that Jay had asked if the town would plow the parking lot and driveway, because at this time, the Historic Society is paying to plow that area. And he had wanted to know if the town would take it over because it's a town park. So I did ask Jay at the town hall about that. And the reply was no, people don't visit the Arboretum during the winter when there's snow on the ground. So we as a town do not see a need to plow it. However, the Historic Society, who is open every weekend with their beautiful photographic exhibit, would like to have it plowed. So at this point, it's still on the Historic Society's budget. So I just wanted to let you know that.
So Philippa, just to clarify for the minutes, it was Jay who asked if the town would plow it, or you asked Jay if the town
No,
would plow it?
Jay asked me, and then I asked the other Jay.
We got two J's. We got Jay
Oh.
Cantor at the
Oh.
Historical
Yeah,
Society.
Jay Cantor asked
Gotcha.
me because he's the head of the Historic Society.
Got
And
it.
I asked
Right.
Jay Swan and got the message back from Christine that no, it's a no-go. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about the confusion. In my mind, they're two different J's, but I can quite understand why. I did not see any big trees down when I was there, except that the small tree, Denise, that your husband wonderfully cut the big one down, but that small one that was broken is still needs to be kind of cleared away. And also that dead tree that we saw that had fallen over, that will have to need to go. But we will have the usual, raking and clearing, and we've got that beautiful pile of wood chips that needs to be spread. So those are the chores that need to be done at this point. I did get a letter from Julian asking what our plans were about the work on the major tree work that he had outlined in that report that he prepared for us. And I said we would bring it up at this meeting. If you remember his report, he outlined,
It was several $1,000s, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right. I mean, the Purple Beech, which was the biggest item, is the one that lost a large branch that Denise and her husband, Denise and I were all set to go and she was going to catch the branch and I was going to saw it. And her husband said it was not a good idea. So he came down with a really big chainsaw and did a wonderful job and saved us both. Cut that big branch down and cut it into pieces, took it away, but there's still like some broken little trees. But that Purple Beach is, I'm afraid, is a potential disaster waiting to happen. But I still hate to cut it before it's time. I don't know how anybody else feels about this.
Is that the great big tree right just as you start down the path?
Yep,
Sort of the almost the focal point.
you've got it. It is the biggest tree on the property. It's that huge purple beech on that left-hand path down.
Mhm.
And it's the one that we've been treating for years now, John, for fungal infection. And it looks like there's just like the left-hand side of it is infected. But in order to get the equipment in to just take that piece down
Oh,
would cost several thousand. So Julian, the recommendation from Julian and whoever the person was who he brought out to look at things was that we should take that whole tree down. But it's such a focal tree. I hate to do it before it has to come down. But at some point, that's going to be a major financial piece.
Isn't it also, I mean, as I recall, the town had communicated, I think with you, Philippa, that if a tree becomes a concern for safety, that the town would then bear the cost?
Yep, that was definitely stated to us, Denise, along with a statement that if it was a safety hazard and the town was not ready to take it down, the park should be closed.
Oh,
So we need to make sure that we make that assessment accurately,
right.
you know.
Who would be good at making that assessment? I mean, I don't feel qualified or knowledgeable in any way
No.
to do that.
That would probably be Julian,
Okay,
in conjunction with maybe the tree company that the town would hire to take the tree down.
mm-hmm.
But you know, I hesitate to push in that direction if it's not necessary yet, because sometimes there's a knee-jerk reaction to suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
So something to assess maybe when the snow leaves the ground. Let's take another look at it and see how things are looking, and have Julian is willing to come back and look again at the Arboretum and walk around with us and do anything we would like.
That's fabulous. So, I mean, I guess on that walk, and the invitation would be to ask him to let us know if he sees any trees as being safety concerns.
Right, that would be good. And you know, we've got $222.25.
Well, and I don't have the records from the previous fiscal year, so I don't know how much we spend, I'll say in the spring, because we'll start needing mowing and that kind of stuff before the end of this fiscal year, before June.
Yes.
And we don't have much money to pay for that kind of stuff. We got a couple hundred, $222.
And 25 cents.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, you don't have those records, John?
I don't think I do. I'll go back, look at the, I could ask, Diane for them, but I
Yeah, she would
don't
have.
have them.
Charlotte didn't get them.
Well, she may. I'll look.
Okay, I thought they got passed on to her. Hopefully we can get some students to come in and do some work. I've had no luck in a couple of contacts, attempted to make contacts with Pomfret School and have not had any reply. It started off before the year began with a very positive comment about wanting to reach out, and then it was, oh, we don't have the transportation to get the kids there, and nothing since then. And I've tried a couple of times to say we'd really like to have students come in and work. So it will be whatever Sarah can organize for us at Woodstock Academy. I do have three or four dates that I sent in to the Last Green Valley for walks. Let me just go and get them. Yeah, I committed to May the 8th, the 16th, and the 25th for last Green Valley walks. It would be 10 in the morning. And I'll be happy to lead them. But it would be nice to have the Arboretum in good shape before I start off on May the 8th.
So the 8th, the 16th, and the
And
25th?
the 25th, yeah. So it's like 3 different days of the week, 2 during the weekdays and a weekend.
Yep.
I'm going to be away from April the 26th to May the 4th, and then I come back. But it would be nice to have some work dates in April, if some students were available. But without Sarah here, we don't know that. Do you know there's going to be branches down that need to be cleared?
Yep.
Some raking of paths, and the mowing would start end of April.
Do we have a quote from the folks that are doing the mowing for
I
this?
haven't had a letter from them yet, no. But I can call them, John.
The fellow that, I'm the treasurer for the local cemetery in East Woodstock. And the fellow, who's been doing the mowing there for years raised his prices significantly for this coming year, for 2024. Now, he hasn't raised prices for several years, so it was not unexpected.
Okay.
And if Betterview has been kind of keeping pace, maybe there won't be much of an increase because gas prices have kind of stabilized.
They've gone down if you go and buy your gas in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have not had any letter from them saying, here's the contract for the upcoming
Yep.
year. And it came to me last year.
Mhm.
And Denise, you got nothing, right?
No. Mm-mm.
And I was in the town hall today, actually, because the Board of Assessment Appeal gets ready to start hearing cases in a couple of weeks. And there's nothing in the Arboretum box except that letter from Last Green Valley.
Last Green Valley, right? Yeah. Okay. So we can't really list the chores. I don't have any idea of new trees to plant at this point. We put those new trees in, and as far as I know, they've survived the winter, but nothing has really started to grow yet, so we can't tell. Denise, any thoughts that you had that what we needed to address? I think we've covered the topics on the agenda. We're into that anything else category right now.
Yeah, just any other business. I mean, I can share just about my reaching out to other arboretums.
Thank you. Yes, I was hoping for that.
I just, John, I sent some emails to other arboretums in the area just to ask them about like, what have you done that has been successful in attracting people to the Arboretum, given just the low enrollment for the plein air workshop and some other things that have been tried. And just to give some feedback that I received from the Yukon Arboretum, they just said that they have a natural audience there, and students sometimes have to go for classes, but they do offer tours through the Connecticut State Museum of Natural History, and suggested maybe our publicizing with Joshua's Trust or the Wolf Den Land Trust. And also thought maybe we might want to reach out to the Willimantic Chronicle, who might be interested in doing an article about the Arboretum in the Quiet Corner. Let's see, another one in Reading offers a lot of workshops on their focuses on conservation and ecology, and they offer workshops on butterflies and preservation. The gentleman from the Westmore Park in West Hartford was just a fount of information. I mean, for one, just given what Philip has shared about the snow plowing, I'm sure this is going to be a no-go, but he really is a strong proponent that the town should have responsibility for park maintenance, that the Parks and Rec Committee and Public Works should have some responsibility for making sure that the Palmer Arboretum is maintained. He also had shared a website of signage, that a signage place that they've used that he had good success with. They've also received an accreditation from ArbNet that he thought was helpful for the Arboretum status. Things that they've done is a photographer's walk, a tree walks. They use social media, Facebook and Twitter a lot. They also have an email list of, customers that they communicate with regularly. They have partners. Oh, he also suggested maybe we could do something in partnership with the Historical Society, since it's right there, or maybe a local nature center. He also suggested, and I don't know if this might be a day for the plein air workshop, that Arbor Day is April 26th. Oh, is that when you're going to be away, Philippa?
Yeah, well, but you're going to be here.
Yeah. And to, maybe do something that day in recognition of Arbor Day. He suggested maybe something with the local elementary school even. And then he sent me a newsletter, quite extensive, from Morton Arboretum, which is in Illinois. And it's just incredible what they do. They have science camps, adult ed programs on environmental ethics, basic nature photography, gardening. They have a winter whiskey tasting, Lego trains, dog admission day. And around the holidays, they illuminate the trees with lights and then sell tickets for people to come and see them. I mean, I love that idea. I just think one challenge with the Palmer Arboretum is just it being on a hill, which makes it challenging for people who aren't fit to really negotiate the Arboretum for any length of time.
Wow. How big is that Arboretum, the one that does all that stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question. They have just a really extensive website, which he linked me to, that I looked at, but yeah.
There are a couple of arboretums which are also sort of fellow affiliates.
Yeah.
The Federated Garden Clubs. There's the Bartlett Arboretum and the Connecticut College Arboretum.
Yes, I reached out to both of them and did not hear anything back from those two.
A pox on both their houses then.
Absolutely. Now, Connecticut College, I get a newsletter from them with announcements of their program, because I've gone to one, so I'm sort of on their list. And they have some lovely guided walks, but they also are much, much bigger than we are. And they have these specialized gardens, so that you can go for a walk into, they'll do an hour walk just around their wildflower garden, for instance. Now, it would not take an hour for us to walk the length of our wildflower garden, which is one of the issues. We are definitely small. We are a small arboretum with a very small functioning committee. I mean, the thought of running all of those programs, I can't see the four of us doing that,
No. I mean, I think they, obviously many of these places have hired staff, right? That run them. I did like the idea of a photographer's walk as a possibility. Maybe that's a Arbor Day celebration, or the spring when things are coming out or things are blooming, maybe a little bit later even, but that's just a thought. Just
Do you know anybody who is a very strong with a camera, who could lead a walk like that?
No.
Because I mean, you'd want to have somebody who is a photographer, who really knows what they're talking about, and can talk about.
And actually, somebody that's used to photographing things outdoors. I mean, there are portrait photographers, but they wouldn't necessarily be good at taking pictures of plants.
Right. And I do think these days, I've heard people say iPhones are cameras that you can make calls with. that we're all kind of photographers, not professional necessarily per se, but
Yeah, I would think that if we ran a workshop like that, people would probably just bring their iPhones. But
right.
but what you'd want is somebody there who could indicate
Yes,
the lighting and the angle
absolutely.
and the background and the
Absolutely.
focal length and
Yeah,
all those important things rather than point and snap, which is what I do.
yeah, me too. I'll keep my ears open if you, uh, all could too, of just if there's somebody that might have gifts to do something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're having that discussion about photographers as part of the Federated Garden Club stuff.
Mhm.
May be able to uncover some names there,
Great.
because
Great.
And
we're having challenges.
does the garden club have any discussions about how to get people to come and visit?
Well, mostly garden clubs are mostly into the activities. And so you have an audience of people who want to come and learn how to do flower arranging or to learn how to take care of their vegetable garden. Or the most recent meeting here in the Quiet Corner Garden Club was what in your yard can you eat, and what, which plants are good for what, and how do they taste, and how do you prepare them, and that kind of stuff. So it's things related to that are the kinds of activities you tend to find in a garden club. Now,
Mm,
the annual Connecticut Garden Show starts Thursday of this week
right.
in the Hartford Convention Center. So I drove a truck down yesterday to unload all of the stuff that Quiet Corner is doing to set up. They're doing the staging. So they've got 3 installations in the Federated Garden Club's part of that exhibition.
Wow.
Well, it
That's
takes over
great.
the show is the whole convention center.
Hmm.
The pure garden club part of it is only about, it's probably less than 20% of the total floor. The rest is all vendors of many stripes. But there's a horticulture section, there's a flower arranging section, there's a photography section, there's a craft section, all for entries that are being judged.
Okay. So the photography section, since we've been talking about that, are those photographers just like you and I, a point and shoot photographer, or somebody
Oh,
who is?
yes. I mean, yes, because I don't remember, I won't get all the criteria correctly, but basically anybody can enter a photograph. The idea is the photograph should be of something related to gardening,
Mhm.
plants or pollinators sitting on a plant or whatever like that. And then they're judged based on composition and the eye and artistic quality and all that kind of stuff. But they award prizes and so on. And there's some beautiful photographs that people have taken. And I don't know, they usually say what the camera was.
Mhm.
And I don't remember noticing any that were taken with a phone, but that may just be I didn't notice them.
Right. And I wonder if the judges would be people who could run a workshop.
I can find out who the judges are for the photography thing, probably because I'll be writing them a check.
Okay.
But I'll make a mental note to chat with the chair of the committee that put the show on this year to find out where they get their judges for like each of the sections.
Okay, that would be helpful. Now, Elaine Turner, who is, I think that is she's the chair of one of the sections of the garden club, isn't she? She's not the head of the whole garden club, is she?
She's president of the Quiet Corner Garden Club,
She is the
which is the
president of the
garden
whole
club
club.
in this region. But
Okay.
I'm the treasurer of a statewide federation of 115 garden clubs.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was hoping to get down this weekend to see it. Actually, I had it on my calendar. It's on for those 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting to get some spring smells.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
I'm
you have this?
actually serving on our membership table Saturday morning. Each of
Okay.
the board members is expected to do some duty on the membership table.
Oh, good for you. That's good. Yeah, sounds like it's an interesting thing to go to. It's there as a possibility on my calendar.
Yep.
Um, Okay, other thought, anything else, Denise? Any other particular ideas grabbed you?
No, that's it.
Yeah, the only thing that I had thought of was some kind of idea of a kids camp with like an every week, hour of kids outdoor activities. And I just don't know if homeschoolers or even kids, parents as kids in public schools would be interested in doing that on a Saturday morning. And we could have a couple of them and send out ideas, because I have a whole, and I have a training as that outdoor learning stuff, and I have a whole catalog of activities. But I just don't know if we would get people to come. We'd be sort of in competition with Audubon, who runs all kinds of things for kids. But it would be a one-shot deal. And whether do we do it for free? Do we charge? It's something to think about. As a way of getting people to come in to see the Arboretum. The kids seem to enjoy just hunting for things, but if there was also other kinds of activities. When we had the homeschool group, they had a wonderful time. And maybe we could offer a regular, 4 Saturdays or something. Is that your husband?
Yes. He needs my face.
I know, I'm trying to.
Only
And
your
John,
face.
John, it's
Hi,
Philip
John.
and John too.
This car is
Paul.
working with technical. Anyway, getting
Did you
there.
get your face?
Yes, he got my
Yes, I did,
face.
thank you.
Okay, good. I don't know. We don't have, a easily accessible seating area to offer an activity except the parking lot. We could talk with Jay and see if he wants to try and do a joint history and arboretum tour. I'm not sure what kind of response he is getting for visitors to his photographic exhibit. Do you know?
I don't know.
To
I
ask.
was there before it opened, and I've seen his car there, and I've had a couple of friends who've gone, but I haven't seen the parking lot packed on the weekends when he's been open. And I don't know if his auditorium is accessible for any kind of a presentation. I mean, this is all kind of brainstorming at the moment.
Yeah. Well, and if you did something on the history, because Mrs. Palmer donated that building as well, right?
Right. And I'm sure he is really an avid, historian of the area. So would give a wonderful presentation. It's just a question of, would people come?
Right. And then it, could be followed by a tour of the
Of the
Arboretum.
tour of the Arboretum, absolutely.
with-
Why don't I talk to him and ask him if he's interested, and I can know by our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Our meeting has lasted for 45 minutes, which is longer than it usually lasts.
One work project I want to check on, the split rail fence, the
Yes.
post at the far right-hand end as you approach it
Right.
was basically broken off. So we probably need to replace that to keep the fence upright. I will look the next time I'm in that area and see what needs to be done.
Okay, thank you. I think we need to talk to Jessie again about the fence between her property and the Historical Society.
She's on to the right.
She's on the other side, but according to Jay, that fence is hers. Now, whether that's accurate or not, I don't know.
That's the tall sort of board fence.
Yeah, and it's the one that's really it's falling down right in the middle there. It's a whole section that's all broken up. I will I will give her a call and find out if she also thinks it belongs to her. Maybe her son is coming home for the summer and could fix it.
But it's the one on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it really looks crummy.
Mhm.
You know, it's very, very deteriorated and should be replaced. And I'm not sure whether it's hers or ours, or not ours. It probably would be the Historical Society or the town's. Maybe, I don't know. It's unclear to me who actually owns the driveway that goes down to the parking lot, whether it's Historical Society, whether it's part of the town park, who actually owns that, and is responsible.
The
for
driveway from Route 169 that runs down to along the side of Palmer, the
Right.
building.
Right.
I'll look on the GIS map.
Oh, fantastic. That would be great.
Okay, I guess if we're done, we can adjourn.
Denise, anything more you want to add?
No,
Thank you so much for getting in contact with all the other arboretums in the area, though. That was really helpful and sort of juiced me up as, yes, we can do something, we can do something. And then I thought, okay, it's the four of us and Sarah's very busy. And no, I'm not sure we can do something, but maybe we can do a little something, and maybe we'd be happy with doing a little something, you know?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And so our next meeting date is to be determined. You'll touch base with Sarah.
At this point, it stays at what you've listed until we can change it.
Okay,
Right? It should still be what is listed, but if we can change it, then we'll change it. I'll put a message into Sarah tonight, but I don't know whether with what her eyes, I'm not sure what the eye issue is, whether she's even reading anything, you know?
right. Okay, so our next meeting date then is March 19th, the third Tuesday of the month.
Right.
Okay,
But open to discussion, hopefully.
okay,
Okay.
great.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philippa. Good to see you, John.
Bye-bye.
Hope to see you tomorrow at exercise, Denise. You were not home. You're going to be there tomorrow or not?
Yeah. Maybe our little Gracie is not well.
Oh.
And so I've been doing some on Zoom and stuff. So Phil and I are tag teaming depending on his schedule. I may be there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
My prayers for her. Oh.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Take care.
All right.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.